Hi, Reading Vineyard's pre-K to second grade Sunday school class. This is Mrs. Naomi here at my house, where I have been for the past 5 or 6 weeks, like you have been at your house for the past 5 or 6 weeks. Sometimes we might be feeling like prisoners in our own homes, and sometimes we might be having a hard time getting along with our brothers, our sisters, our moms and dads, and our kids. But today I want to read you something that was written by Apostle Paul. He was a Christian, he followed Jesus, he wrote a lot of the New Testament, and he actually was a prisoner when he wrote what I'm about to read you now to the church in Ephesus. And he had some really good advice about following Jesus when times are hard, because that's when it's really, really important, like right now. I am a prisoner because of the Lord. So I am asking you to live a life worthy of what God chose you for. Don't be proud at all. Be completely gentle. Be patient. Put up with one another in love. Now, what does that look like? That sounds like good advice, but what does it actually look like to not be proud, or to be completely gentle, or to be patient? Well, this is a glass, and in this glass, I don't know if you can see it, it's hard for me to see what you can see here. In this glass is a bunch of compost. You remember that big bucket that has kitchen scraps and paper waste and dead leaves and eggshells, all kinds of nastiness inside it? Well, that's what's inside this glass. Inside this glass is nice, pure, clean water. Now, both of those glasses look the same on the outside, and both of those glasses are going to act the same way if I bump them. When you bump a glass, it tends to spill, right? When you bump a person, whatever's inside them tends to spill out, and it might be something nice and clean and pure like this cup, and it might be something that's garbage thoughts or garbage feelings, kind of like this cup. Now that's what it looks like to not be proud at all. You just need to admit that sometimes what's inside you, the way you feel, the way you think, is a little bit of a bunch of garbage. But you can get rid of it, changing the way you're thinking, changing the way you're feeling, and putting new things inside until you look like that other glass that had all the nice, clean things inside. One of the best ways that I know of to clean the inside of your glass is to just say thank you. You have so many things to say thank you about to God and to other people, and the more thank yous that you say, the more it cleans up that inside. So that's what it looks like to not be proud at all. But what about being completely gentle? Well, at my house, I have a plant that's called wisteria. Now you see this is a vine, and it likes to grow and grow and grow and grow. And sometimes it tries to take the ceiling, the roof, right off of my house. Can you see that? I don't want the house to come off of the roof to come out of my house. So I have clippers. And I take these clippers and I clip off the parts of this vine that are growing up, that are trying to take the roof off of my house. And then I don't have to worry about any of those little vines growing into my walls or into my roof of my house. Let's see, here's some more. This thing just grows like crazy, and it grows fast too. It's amazing. And just like with us, sometimes the things that we say to each other, they just keep coming faster and faster, even when they're things we know we shouldn't say. But if we want to protect our relationships with each other, we need to stop trying to take each other's roof off with our words. So we need to take our clippers and just take off those things that we start to say that are going to hurt each other. And one of the best ways that I know to become gentle is to just wait. When we want to say something and we know it's something we shouldn't say, to just wait. So what about being patient? What does being patient with each other look like? Well, next to my wisteria, I have a little greenhouse, and Sammy and Nova and I have been growing plants in our greenhouse. You can see down here, we've got some plants that are growing really nicely. And here we've got some corn plants. But up here, this tray of plants has been so disappointing. Until this morning, there has been not one single plant growing in this flat where we planted a lot of seeds. I don't know if you can see it very well, but this is the only one that has a teeny tiny little seedling growing in it. But we still had to take our watering can. Every day we have to come out and we have to water our plants. Even though there's no plants, it doesn't look like there's any plants to water. But we have to keep watering, even though we don't see that it's doing any good. Because if we keep watering, then sometime we're going to get our plants starting to grow, like these ones. And our relationships with each other are kind of like these plants. We need to keep watering our relationships with each other, keep treating each other nicely, even when maybe they're not treating us nicely. And by keeping that watering, that's us being patient with each other and putting up with each other. Now, I know it's hard. I am just like you. Sometimes I say things to my kids or to my husband that I shouldn't have said. And sometimes I do things that I shouldn't have done. And all of us together, we can just follow the advice that Paul gave us. We should not be proud at all. We should be completely gentle. And we should be patient. Be patient with each other and be patient with ourselves. And just like those plants actually are starting to bloom now, this situation is going to end. We're not going to be staying in our homes forever. So I encourage you all this week, as you stay home, remember to say your thank yous. Remember to maybe count to 10 and just wait when you want to say something you shouldn't. And remember to keep treating your brothers and sisters and your mom and dad. Keep treating them nicely. And keep watering those plants, those relationships you have with them. And let's keep following Jesus together, even as we're separated in our homes. I love you. I hope you have a good week. Bye-bye.